Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I've gotten a chance to film my most requested video topic, which is the use of this golden rectangle template. I wanted to make sure that if I make this video, I needed to do this correctly and in a way for you all to translate this into your own projects. In order to showcase the golden rectangle, I'm using a stamp set from Altenew, August 2019, stamp die stencil release it's a little bit abstract. The dot art stamp set inspired me to create this point symmetry inspired card. Think of bicycle playing cards or the French suit of cards typically played in poker, solitaire, go fish. I'm pairing old with new and showcasing Altenew Lotus stamp set, another one of my most loved stamp sets from Altenew. Before I get into the card making process, let's talk about what the heck this piece of transparency is that I keep using in my videos. This is my golden rectangle template. I made this with a little bit of help from calculators from the internet, and I've got them credited below, but I use this template for placement. My opinion is that you can make the most beautifully colored flower, character, object, whatever, but if you put it in the wrong spot in a scene, it throws the whole vibe of the card off. Think about it as rearranging furniture in your living spaces, your craft room. We all have our own opinions. However, this template is based off many years of validation and proof that the golden ratio, Fibonacci sequence, the Vitruvian man, nautilus shells, succulents, broccoli florets are just naturally, and I'm doing air quotes, naturally beautiful or aesthetically pleasing. I've got a few sources in the description box below of the mathematical examples that occur in nature of the golden ratio and why this is so important. Disclaimer, and I really hate doing this before I say anything, but I have to let you know that this golden rectangle template isn't a true golden rectangle in theory, because 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 A2 panel as it exists is not a true golden rectangle. But using the calculators I mentioned earlier, I created this template based off the golden ratio. Here, I'm showing you the mathematical expression that defines what the golden ratio or Greek letter phi is. And from phi, we can calculate the ratio of the longer 5 1/2 inch side of the panel, and then the shorter 4 1/4 inch side. What we end up with is this interesting grid of sorts. But after all that, what I'm concerned with is this area outlined by the black circle. This is the sweet spot. In photography, this Phi grid is where all your focal objects are placed, or where you want your audience to focus the most. And luckily I've made this easy for you all, so there's no need to make any sort of calculation when making your own Phi grid. I've made a PDF that you can print and make your own. All you need is a piece of acetate cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and you can use a cut piece of stamp packaging if you'd like as well. And you'll also need a permanent marker to make this, but I'll have this over in the coordinating blog post for this release from Altenew. And with that being said, let's just get on with the actual card. In my MISTI, I've got my golden ratio grid and 2 masks I've made with the larger flower images from Altenew Lotus. What I'm going to do is arrange the flowers on that sweet spot where all the lines sort of converge. I'm going to do some simple masking with these floral images and color them with the red sunset crisp dye inks from Altenew. I've got all the Altenew materials listed in the description box below and over on my blog with affiliate links. To go along with the playing card theme, once I have an image stamped, I'm going to leave it in the stamp positioning tool, rotate my panel 180 degrees, and stamp the same image. And after this, I kind of just let art happen. I masked and stamped the flower images following the layering guide, and of course using the MISTI makes it super easy to create point symmetry because all I have to do is rotate my panel and make sure it is snug in the same corner every single time. Okay, the flowers are done and masked, and now I'll start working with the dot art stamp set from Altenew. I'm using these abstract images to frame the flowers as well as framing the sentiment that I have planned to place right in the middle of my panel. I'm still using the Phi grid to make sure I have everything lined up in aesthetically in air quotes again, aesthetically pleasing places. Because of the graphic nature of these stamps, they create a lot of lines or movement in the card panel. So I'm going to be using that to my advantage, and I'll be using the images to direct the recipient around the panel, sort of like the golden spiral. I'll just keep adding elements to the background of this card, but the last few images I'll use from the dot art stamp set are the smaller triangles to sort of enforce the playing card feel for this card. I'm using obsidian and antique gold pigment ink from Altenew, and I'm going to stamp these in opposing corners of my card panel. Next, I'm going to remove the mask and reveal the colored lotus flowers once again, and add a thin black outline to frame the florals. I think this helps just balance out the odd shapes I have scattered across the panel, and hopefully at this point this looks very much like the Jack, Queen, King playing card vibes I've been going for. So lastly, I'll move on to adding the sentiment. Originally this was going to be a 1-layer card, but I forgot to create a mask in the center of the card for my sentiment, so instead I'll just heat emboss on a black sentiment strip using the thank you image from the dot art stamp set and raise it up on some foam squares. So this is the end of my aesthetically pleasing Phi Grid, golden ratio, playing card. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate all the likes, comments, shoutouts you all give me on YouTube, my Instagram, and my blog, so I have to thank you for contributing your ideas for my channel. It makes coming up with content super easy, and it makes me super busy as well. Thank you so much to Team Altenew for the opportunity to design, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Have the best day.